Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy So, and welcome back to another episode of Fight Rewind. We got BKFC 38 happening April 21st, live at the Hard Rock, and I'm here with the co-main event of the evening, Jake Brutal Bostwick. What's going on, my brother?
Son.
Yo, I'm doing great, man. Jake, thank you so much for joining me and giving some of your time here to the people. I wanted to get into this interview with you because I know that you have a great career when it comes to mixed martial arts, bare knuckling. You have a ton of experience. What is different for you between fighting MMA and fighting bare knuckle? Now, this being your fifth fight in bare knuckle.
Honestly, the biggest thing, obviously, like I've always been a boxer, striker, but I've always wanted to throw my hands and try and finish people. The biggest thing for me is being able to comfortably, like I used to be able to want to move my head and stuff, but I'd be kicked in the face, kneed in the face and stuff. So like to be able to do all that fluid movement without worrying about takedowns, without worrying about a knee or a kick coming to my face, and being able to be smooth with my movement. I think that's the biggest thing, is not having to worry about putting my head down and worry about getting like kicked in the head. So just worrying about my hands as my tools and using my feet and my movement, man, like, yeah, it's night and day. And even from bare knuckle boxing to actual boxing, again, it's night and day. You can hold the head 2-minute rounds. You're wearing no gloves, mate. Just a jab can end the fight. Like, it is its own sport, 100 million percent its own sport. You can't necessarily train. Well, you can train for that, but it's like it's its own thing. Like,
Yeah, it's either you have it or you don't. And something that I've noticed in watching a lot of bare knuckle fighting in the last 2-3 years is that you really do need to have excellent head movement in order to be an effective striker. So yeah, you could be the world's greatest striker, but if you don't have that head movement, you're gonna find yourself in some real dangerous places. And I think that that's something that you definitely worked at being great at, because you've never really been hurt in bare knuckle, right? And B, you've never been knocked out in bare knuckle fighting. Right now, the two losses that you have been unanimous decision. One of them was to the former champ, Frank Ricky. With this fight coming up against Isaac Doolittle, what do you see as your biggest advantage with not only the experience, but also with the abilities that you have?
I just think stylistically, you know, my lateral movement, my footwork, my head movement, how long my shots are, comparing his style to mine. Yeah, you know, I've got to just keep my range with him. You know, he throws his head around a lot. He loops them big overhand shots, big overhand rights or whatever, big overhand lefts. He's a little bit similar to my last opponent, honestly. You know, I kind of get like a little bit similar like that. You know, heavy on that front foot, wants to throw some big monsters. And I just got to be out of the way. Just don't fall into his game and don't be there.
Yeah, move, gotta move.
Move. And this is what people don't do.
Yeah, man. I think that the weight advantage is something that is big for this fight, right? He's coming down from light heavyweight, jumping into your world where you're naturally accustomed to fighting at that weight. Talk to me about how your weight cut is a lot easier because of that fact that you are fighting closer to your normal weight.
Well, yeah, being fighting at 175 is, you know, and being super lean and, you know, in shape and being closer to your weight. Like I've been like 25 pounds out, you know, 4 days to go and things like that. Crazy cuts, you know, I've done some mad stuff. The fact that I don't do that anymore, again, like that's a whole nother headache completely eliminated. Like on such a level, mate, you have no idea. You know, it took me years to really understand this, and wow, like I'm gonna cut weight, come back and eat ice cream and shit, you know. Yeah, and it's like I'm gonna do that, and I cannot wait to do that. I've put myself in a situation where I'm able to do that. So you have good days for my mind and how it's for me and my body, not doing them crazy cuts and like killing your body like that. But yeah, being lighter to my weight, and even with Isaac Doolittle, he's not that big. Yeah, he fought a light heavyweight. I don't even think he weighed in at the max for that weight class, honestly.
No, he didn't.
He's not that big. But so when I met him in person, he's a very similar height to me. If anything, he's actually a dribble shorter. You know, he's a swole, like, you know, stocky fella, and he throws his hands. Like, yeah, they fight's a fight. We're going to fight. But I think the advantage of him coming to my weight class and me being solid at 75, you know, I feel like I was bigger than him when I did see him, even though he is coming down. But yeah, I don't know, bro.
I think that that's something that most fans don't realize when they're watching combat sports, right? Whether it be MMA, boxing, or bare knuckle. The weight cut and being as close to your natural weight as possible is a good way for you to keep your natural movement, keep your natural power, keep all of those things, and even make it easier to do the weight cut. Let's talk a little bit about BKFC 38. It was originally for St. Patty's Day. We know what happened. It got pushed back to April. Talk to me a little bit about how that didn't affect your mindset in a negative way.
Okay, so I was on my way to cut weight when I had the phone call about a mandatory meeting. Obviously, the fight got called off. First of all, I was like, damn, like, I was pissed, you know. But then I was like, okay, we still get 30% of our purse, you know, because, you know, as a compensation. I
Right.
was like, get something, so I ain't got to stress about money. And then I got 5 more weeks to be like extra crispy and extra ready.
Mm.
Like, I really didn't let it phase me. Like, I really didn't. Legit, like a week, not even a week later, or a few days later, I went and had, the old
St.
four
Patty's
leaf,
Clover.
yeah, they had 4-leaf clover put on me because I saw it as a blessing. It forced me to stay on track. It forced me to stay in the gym. It forced me to stay, you know, in my regime, in my routine as such. And yeah, I didn't let it bother me at all. I just saw it as more time, more prep, more sharpness, extra ready, and it's exactly what I am.
I
So,
love it, man. I love it. I can't honestly. Me and my producer. I was telling you earlier that we were so pumped for the event, and it was like, man, this dude is nasty. I'm dying to see this guy fight in person because I missed you at Knucklemania 2. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about your training. I know that you train and work the mitts with Kevin Gleason. We've had him on the show here before. He's an amazing trainer, an amazing guy. What do you think that does for you as far as giving you an edge to have a guy who's world class like Kevin is, right? And has a bunch of fighters, both MMA, boxing, bare knuckle. Like, how does that help you being in that training room with a guy like him?
well, obviously, so Kevin, and he works alongside a guy called Jeff Puritz. Jeff
Yes.
Puritz, actually the head coach, and Kevin Gleason works obviously with him also. Um, so yeah, working with Jeff and Kevin, they've both got an understanding of me and my movement and what I'm good at, how I move. Yeah, well, both of them world class, mate. They both educate me with like little details, fine little things, you know, especially like yeah, just like movements on the inside. They know what it is when you get with a coach or when you meet coaches. I've had a bunch of coaches in my time. When you click with a coach and a coach understands you and your style, and they don't try and change you, but they try
Mm.
and make you better at what you're doing. That's what I feel that they did. You know, it was like I had everything, and then we added in the lateral movement with my feet and the in and out for the Ricci, because that's when I first started working with him. I started working with Jeff and Kevin or whatever. Maybe not even like 6 weeks, 5 6 weeks before Ricci.
So
That's how.
maybe like late to 2021.
Yes, it was still like early. So
Okay.
with the Ricci, it was all about in and out lateral movement, and then I broke my ribs a month out, so I had no sparring, which sucked. So
Wow.
then sparring for Ricci, which people didn't really know. I don't know if they know, but he's he's 6'4", bro. He's super long. The timing and everything. I'm only 5'8", so I lacked on a few little bits like that, which didn't help me in the fight itself. But that's just my own shit. But when I put in the work together with them, yeah, they just understand me. They understand how I got to move, and they're very confident in my abilities, and I'm confident in what they teach me and what they add to my arsenal. Because then when I put that work together in the gym and like inspiring and stuff, yeah, I see it all plays out. So yeah, Kevin and Jeff, both great coaches, and they definitely helped me and my abilities to get to the top.
Awesome, man. I think it definitely worked for you, right? Because it was such an improvement from your fight with Ricky, from with Frank, and then moving on to Chris Fishgold. Talk to me a little bit about that fight. What your intentions were going into it. Are you a knockout guy, or do you like to play the slow game and really hurt your opponent?
We're talking about the last fight.
Yes, sir.
So my last fight was just about staying composed and sticking to the game plan. If I
Mm.
stick to the game plan, the finish will come. I haven't got to look for it. Yeah, and just finding the opportunity, try to overwhelm him. You see me, I was taking my time, jab, move, bing, bing, move, rolling, slipping, barely not getting touched, mate, and yeah, it was just strategic. Pick apart, pick apart. Don't got to go in for the hunt. I could come out of the gate and go guns blazing and probably knock most men out in 10 seconds. I'm not trying to do that. I don't want to do that. It's not what I want to do. I want to
Right.
go and fight, put my skills on display and put on a display for the people as well as myself, because I want to watch that shit back and be like, damn, that was cool. So,
Absolutely.
so, yeah.
So do you think that for this fight against Isaac, you, like you said, he's not that tall, right? I think he's like 5'8", 5'9", not a big guy, but he is kind of stocky. Does that face any potential difference for you, or do you see each opponent the same? Like, this is just another dude that I got to take out and do the best of my abilities. Forget about his game plan and just work it.
Well, I know my game plan. I've seen his style. I'm pretty sure he's going to be still similar to Harry fights. So for me, yeah, I got to just stay in my lane, stick to what I've got to do. I don't care what he's got to do or gonna do or what. I'm worried about me and staying in my lane, and just focused on yeah, just stabbing his face with my hands, getting out of the way. Um, yeah, yeah, I kind of went off context there. I forgot how the question was.
Well, let's get back to this. On April 21st, you're going to be fighting at the Hard Rock. You're going to be taking on Isaac Doolittle. Cold main event. I think that if this fight goes well for you, what do you see yourself for the rest of the year? Are you trying to stay active, maybe another fight this year, or wait until next year? Because I knew
Oh,
that you
bro,
kind of had some time off.
no. I got no fucking time off, mate. Listen,
Awesome.
I stop Isaac Doolittle. I'm coming for the strap. I'm gonna get the strap. Then you got all these other big fucking names coming over from the UFC and all that. Now I want a bit of that smoke because I'm working myself up to be one of these people that people are stoked about seeing Perry and Rockhold and everything. I want people to be like, damn, Bostwick on that card. And that's
Mm.
all I'm working for. I'm working on me and building my fan base and earning my respect and doing my job well, and putting on such a display for the people, man.
I
You know.
love it. And you know what? You touched on something that I've been asking a lot of fighters recently, especially guys who initially started in BKFC. Well, how do you feel about these former UFC guys coming in, and not necessarily, I don't want to say disrespecting the bare knuckle fight game, but like just thinking that it might be a little bit easier for them because there were such great strikers in MMA.
Everyone's got their view on bare knuckle. Even I had my view on bare knuckle until I done it. So you're gonna get all these new people coming over from the UFC or from anywhere that haven't really had bare knuckle fights. Now,
True.
like myself and people like that be that or anyone that's in bare knuckle that has had over 5, 6, 7 bare knuckle fights. We have so much more experience on any of these new people. You have
Hmm.
to understand that. So when you get new people that come into this sport, you don't understand what it's like to be overwhelmed with bare knuckle, mate. You do not. I'm sorry, but you don't. You
Yeah,
don't.
it's a
So
complete different animal, man.
fucking other animal, mate, and it's saying its own thing, mate. And yeah, I feel I go in if I do the business and I beat Isaac like how I'm thinking, then yeah, 100% I get a shot at that strap because who else deserves it? So I'll get a shot at the 175 strap. Is in my head, and then from there, I don't know, mate. We just keep
Keep rolling.
keep rolling, bro. I wouldn't mind getting on. I wouldn't mind throwing in a couple boxing fights in the mix as well. In between, maybe something. Get on a big show this year or something. Jake
That's
Paul and
awesome.
their events coming up. They got the Misfits. I can mix it up with the boxing. Come back to the bare knuckle. I'm fine with gloves on. It's different. I can go put on a show. Entertain a little bit. And I
Right.
think for like cross promotion as well, like your bare knuckle guy going over there to do some boxing and displaying some work. So yeah, I'm just seeing myself as an entertainer. I want to go out and display my best, be my best, and just entertain the people, mate, in any way, shape, and form that I can.
I
And my all, brother.
I love it, man. I love it. Let's get to the deeper side of Jake Bostwick, right? What would you say is your biggest inspiration, whether inside or outside the sport?
Okay, I actually just had this in another interview earlier. Honestly, mate, when I get asked this question, I could never answer it. You know,
Mm,
but I actually come to the conclusion the other day, and I figured it out. My biggest inspiration, brother, is my fucking self.
mm,
I think about my fat fucking self, lazy, undriven, whatever I was. You know, my life not in order. I inspire myself when I see my work ethic. I upset myself sometimes. I see some of the shit I do. I watch my videos back or my content back, and I see how hard I'm working and how I feel while I'm doing that work. I'm like, bro, like, I'm working, man. Like, I know I'm working. So,
mm.
like, in my head, that's amazing. And it just makes me understand so much more. There's so much more I can deliver and put out. I inspire myself, bro. Like, I
That-
really do. I tried to look at outside of it and thought about who does, or how, but it's the old me. I look at that and it disgusts me, and I want to be better than that. I just want to be better than that. I just want to be better than that. Even 2 weeks, even a month ago, that Jake is embarrassing, mate. I'm sorry,
mm.
but I was embarrassing. I'm in a very different space right now.
That's amazing, man, and it really shows how much your mental game is on another level, right? Because for somebody who's as competitive as you are, who's been through so many wars as you have, like for you to find that reason to get better and continue to self-inspire, a lot people inside the fight game and outside the fight game can use a message like that. So thank you for sharing that with us. One more thing, keep it a little bit light. I know you're from England. I'm a big Chelsea fan. I gotta know, man. Who do you root for when it comes to football?
I don't care about football.
What?
I really don't care, mate. Honestly, my local team is Charlton.
Okay,
Charlton, West Ham's not too far. Millwall's not too far. They're all kind of around, you
that
know.
London area, right?
Yeah, but honestly, I've never been a football fan. My cousin plays for Stevenage. It's a little bit of a lower league team, but it's like solid. He plays for Stevenage. Michael Bostwick, his name is.
Nice.
That brother, yeah. I used to play rugby. I used to hold the ball.
Got it. You're a rugby guy. You look like a rugby guy.
Yeah, I can't be dealing with that Ronaldo fucking tackles and rolling around on the floor like don't give me that shit. I hate that. Don't be a bitch. Like, come
That's awesome, man. I could totally see you transitioning into rugby. If this bare knuckle shit is like getting boring for you, probably be like, you know
on.
what? I'm gonna go kill it.
You give me a ball, yo, I'm super agile. I'm so quick, brother. Like, I'm fast. Like, I really am. I give myself props. I'm super, super fast.
Nice.
Really good, like, foot movement and like my palm off, mate. You give me that ball and I'm running, later.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome, Jake. Man, I really like how your energy is towards this fight. We're a couple of days away from the fight happening. One last thing. What can the people expect to see from you Friday, April 21st at the Hard Rock?
Friday, April 21st, you're going to see the best performance of myself. You're going to
Mm.
see the display of art and work and everything that I've put into this and understanding bare knuckle. And I really want to display that and show you the fuck I am, mate. And
I,
hopefully get to tell you all, do you see me now? That's my plan, son.
I can't wait, man. I can't wait. Let the people know where they can find you on social media so they can get some of this entertainment on a daily basis, man.
Yeah, obviously, my main social platform is Brutal Bostwick. Is my Instagram. I'm always gunning up my Instagram, answering questions, always talking with the people and everything. I'm currently having my website worked on, brutalbostwick.com. It is not fired up yet, but I am working on it, trying to make my moves, mate. Other than that, yeah, just brutalbostwick.com is obviously Brutal Bostwick,
Instagram.
my Instagram. Sorry. Follow me, follow my journey. Next
Yeah,
week,
man.
what's going on. And
This guy's an interesting follow. If you haven't followed him already, he goes on live. He answers questions while he's working out. Like, if you ever want to get close to an entertainment part of a fighter, this is the man to follow. Jake, thank you so much for your time, brother.
so much. Appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely, man. And that's it, guys. Another episode of Fight Rewind in the books. Make sure to follow the good homie Jake Brutal Bostwick. He's gonna be fighting April 21st at the Hard Rock. You're not gonna want to miss this. Tickets available on Ticketmaster.com. And if you already know what to do, you gotta hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. It's your boy Pew. So peace.